So your girl quit her job. Yeah, I'm officially unemployed. Yeah. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to my channel. Miss Fadzo in the building is up here and doing her thing. Welcome to Fadzo Productions. I'm just gonna get right into it because, child, it's one of those things that I think I just need to talk about because I think it's like I'm getting in my head a little bit. So basically, I'm unemployed now. I'm jobless. Freelance. That's what we call it these days, is it? Guys, I quit my job. So I'll just do like a backpedal, you know, go back and explain what really happened. So about 3 months ago, I kind of started realizing that I don't have time to do anything in terms of business, like at all. Like, people keep asking me, we were expecting you to post a video, we were expecting you to post such and such, why haven't you posted it? And I was like, literally, I don't have time. I overbooked myself and now I don't have time. Like, I have school, which I'm doing full-time. I have my degree, which is a business degree with a specialization in entrepreneurship. I have a bunch of group activities that I'm doing. So I'm vice president of the Trent International Students Association. I'm also a board member of the Community Race Relations Committee, and I am a member of the Colleges and Student Services Committee as well. But we meet like a couple of times a month, so that one's not too bad. But I also have a job, which I'm doing part-time over like the school period, and then full-time during holidays, and that's also including like holidays like reading week, Christmas, you name it. So I'll be doing full-time work at that point. And I realized, mate, and you have a business, like where's this time where's this time coming from? And I realized I was getting so burnt out, and I love my job so much. Like, I don't think you understand. I work with kids that have special needs. I work as a personal support worker, and the pay is beautiful. The kids are lovely. My work people are dope. But I need consistency, and I think that's what it kind of just boiled down to, that I needed consistency and they couldn't give me consistency. It's just the nature of the job doesn't allow for that level of consistency that I need. So unfortunately, it was either I kill myself for this job or my school goes down, which is not an option because my ass is trying to graduate as soon as possible, or my business goes down the drain, which is what it was doing anyways. So I needed to figure that situation out, or my extracurriculars were just gonna go pew. But I feel like there's so much accountability in that it wasn't a thing that I could feasibly do without feeling horrible for. I don't know how to explain it, but I think ultimately it just boiled down to what's a priority right now and what do I see myself doing in the future. The reason why I did the job in the first place was for work experience. I wanted to understand accessibility from inside an organization rather than outside an organization. Because what I've realized is a lot of the times we think certain things are accessible, but they're actually not. They're accessible. So they're accessible on paper, but when you actually think about whether they are accessible or not, two people with different kinds of disabilities, they're actually really not as accessible as we put them out to be. So that's one thing I really value from this job, that I really learned more about people with special needs and what accessibility means for each of those kids. And adults, because I also worked with adults sometimes, but it really helped me understand what accessibility really means. And when organizations and people say our hall or our venue or our event is accessible, what does that actually mean? So that's one thing obviously I really value and love about that job. But I realized that it's not a career job. I'm not in nursing or in PSW or anything like that, and that's not where I want to go. So I can't then sacrifice what I want to do in the future for a temporary paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tweeted about it the other day, and I was saying that what I realized is that they both, having a job and running a business, both have similar risks, just in different ways. That you view them in different ways. A job has security, or a full sense of security, in the sense that you know that you're gonna get a paycheck at the end of the month. You don't have to worry about that. As long as you put in your hours, you have a paycheck. You don't have to worry about having or not having a paycheck. And as long as the company is established, for the most part, you'll still have your job. But you're also very disposable, because once they don't need you anymore, or something happens within the company, you can be fired literally at any point. And if you don't have a backup plan, you are in trouble. I was gonna swear, but I'm not doing that. And what I realized about running your own business is that you don't have the security, in the sense that you know that there's money coming in all the time, but you do have the freedom and the flexibility to make more money if you want to make more money at your own pace and at your own time. And for me, what I realized is right now what I need is time and less of money. And I understand that's obviously me coming from a point of privilege, in the sense that a lot of the bills that I might have to pay, worst case scenario, I do have people who can support me. My parents can support me if I really need it. But I'm in a place where right now is the best time for me to have that kind of risk. I do have a little bit of money saved up, so it's not like I'm starting from zero, but for the most part, I don't have a backup plan, so it has to work. And what I'm beginning to realize is that I just need to make the decision now that this is something that I really want to do, and stop making excuses for it. Every single year I say I want to focus on my business a little bit more, I want to do this and I want to do that, but I never actually end up doing it. Not because the will isn't there, or there's fear, or I'm just not like prepared. It's literally, it boils down to me choosing a shift over doing my job. And for me, doing a shift is easier money than actually going out and seeking a customer. And that's such a sad reality, considering that I'm like an aspiring entrepreneur. And even that, I'll talk about that in another video. But I was watching another video where someone was talking about the fact that you're not an entrepreneur until you quit your job. I'm gonna link that below, because listen, it really challenged me, and it made me really think about what entrepreneurship means to me. But again, I'll talk about that in another video. But essentially what I was beginning to realize is I was choosing one thing over another thing, but at the detriment of my future. I don't see myself, this job was a short-term thing for me to gain experience, but I was beginning to treat it as a long-term thing, and putting my long-term thing and making it a short-term thing. And when I really weighted down and thought about my goals for the future and kind of looked back, I realized that I just need time. But the only thing that I can do right now is quit my job. I can't quit on the student groups I'm doing right now, because it just, for me, it just doesn't make sense. I can't quit on university because I literally have a year left. Like, no. And my parents have put so much money into my education, it just doesn't make sense. So and I can't quit on my business, because that's where I'm looking at my income coming from in the future. So it kind of just boiled down to that. But I guess the reason why I'm making this video is because I feel like I just want to encourage someone who might be considering quitting their job, and just basically say, when you know, you know. But really think about setting a good foundation for yourself. I think the one thing that's really stressing me out right now is like, I'm trying to move into a new apartment, I'm trying to pay for this, I'm trying to buy a car, I want to go on holiday. I have so many things that I want to do. I want to expand my business, and right now, realistically speaking, I don't have the financial capacity to do that without my job. And because I've already quit, I don't know where the money's gonna come from. But I think it's put me in a position where I'm challenging myself. I'm forced to come up with innovative ideas. I'm forced to upload on YouTube. I'm forced to monetize on things that I would have never monetized on. I'm forced to go out and be a sales representative. What I'm beginning to realize is because I'm so under pressure to make the next bill, or to expand on the next thing, I'm becoming very, very innovative. I'm becoming a better salesperson. I'm becoming a better strategist. I'm becoming better at pitching and just networking, which is something I feel like I couldn't have done if I was still in the comfort zone of having my job. So I think what I'm getting at is that sometimes staying in the comfort zone doesn't allow for you to grow, and you need to see whether the costs and the benefits weigh out, and what works best for now and what works best for the future. I think when it comes to it, I would rather have temporary, like right now I'd rather suffer a little bit that pushes me to do better than stay comfortable and then in the future just be mediocre. I'd never want to just settle for being mediocre. That is my biggest fear, is being mediocre. I think being broke I'm not so scared of, because I feel like I've seen what it is to be broke from my parents, and being broke, and being in that point allowed us to grow the empire that we have now. So I'm not worried about being broke. I think I'm more worried about being comfortable in a place, because I feel like once you're so comfortable in a place, you stop growing. And the worst thing you can do is stop growing and just be like stagnant, because the rest of the world is constantly moving and you'll just be stagnant and you think everything is okay, but you're actually getting left behind. And that's, I think for me, that's the biggest thing. And if I fail, I still have time to figure things out. I don't know how to explain it better, but I'm sick and tired of just being okay. I'm sick and tired of being comfortable. I think I need something that pushes me and challenges me to get out of my comfort zone and allow me to expand on my creativity and expand on my knowledge and expand on the resources that I have in my brain. And this is gonna be that opportunity. I'm really optimistic, and I know like God's got my back, and when push comes to shove, this is just me putting myself a little bit under pressure so that I can become the diamond that I know I'm able to become. But I know I can't do that if my priority is going to work all the time. And I think also I don't want to ever be in a situation where I resent the job that I'm in. I'm so sorry if this video is all over the place, but I just have so much going on in my mind, and I think some of it is me actually having like revelations as I'm talking to you guys as well. I think I need a challenge, and it needs to happen now. I can't keep pushing this thing away, because the more I push it away, I'm actually pushing myself away too. And last year was my year of self, and self ... because it was self-development, self-confidence, self-empowerment, self-awareness, all of that. And what I realized is sometimes when we choose other things because they're more comfortable, we're actually by default not choosing ourselves, because our passions and our purposes are within those struggles that we're kind of ignoring. So maybe there isn't a moral to this story, but I know I'm good, and I know that whatever is gonna happen within this period of self-employment is gonna be something that will grow me. And that's not to say I won't go and work again someday. Maybe I will, but for now, what gives me peace is knowing that I'm choosing myself, and I'm going in with the expectation of potentially failing, but knowing that God's got me so much, my failure is just an opportunity for a win. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That was a little bit all over the place, and I hope you got something from it. But yeah, I'm self-employed now, and I'm really excited for the journey. Hopefully this means that I can be posting more videos, more on my podcast, which I will link all the way up here. I have a podcast which is Fadzo Productions on all platforms, and so hopefully, because I'm gonna have a lot more free time, I'll be able to post on that. I'll also be having a lot more fashion DIY things on the channel because I'm really good at sewing and have a clothing company as well. And maybe I'll bring you guys in to see how I run the business and bring you along on the journey as I learn about running a business in that sector as well. Yeah, I feel like I spoke a lot. Thank you so much for watching the channel and watching this video. I hope you got something from it. Link down below if you have any encouragements for me, or you might be going through the same thing and maybe I can kind of help you, or maybe you just want me to do like a follow-up video after a month or two or a year or whatever. Let me know down in the description bar below what you want me to talk about next, or just what you think leaving a 9-to-5 will do for you. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. God bless and bye.
Tizi kumira, yeah, yeah. Kushikira makuziwa, yeah, yeah.